Hi, everyone. We in Grad Division are so excited to announce the opening of the applications for the 2022 Grad Slam competition. My name is Laura McGeehan, and I am the Director of Academic Preparation, Recruitment, and Outreach here in Grad Division. And we are so excited to bring the Grad Slam competition back to UCR. If you're not familiar with the Grad Slam competition, I invite you to take a look at the video of the 2019 competition on our Grad Slam website here. If you are familiar with the Grad Slam competition and you're interested in applying for this year, this orientation video will give you information about this year's process. Let's get started. So the goals of this orientation are the following. We want to make sure that you get to know Grad Slam. We want you to become familiar with the competition regulations and the competition setup and understand the Grad Slam judging criteria. And of course, we want to encourage you to participate in this year's competition. For more information, you can always contact me, Laura McGeehan, and my colleague, Nancy Cruz. We are both located in the University Office Building, and we're going to be available for virtual follow-ups through the month of January. So what is Grad Slam? Grad Slam is a UC-wide public speaking competition and professional development opportunity in which grad students like you describe their research or creative projects in 3 minutes. Now, that number 3 is very important because you can have 3 minutes with a maximum of 3 PowerPoint slides and 3 clicks to advance those PowerPoint slides to a very non-specific audience. Participating students are supported through public speaking workshops and feedback sessions, and they progress through several preliminary and semifinal rounds. Contestants have the opportunity to win up to $5,000 at the UCR level and another $7,000 at the UC-wide level competition. Here are some more details about some of those prizes that our top competitors may earn. You can see that the UCR grand prize is $5,000. And then if you advance to the UCOP final, the grand prize is $7,000. So if you win the UCOP Grand Slam in May in San Francisco, then you could be $12,000 richer. So we're really hoping for that. So we want to recruit students to the Grad Slam competition from all parts of our grad programs. For those of you who think that Grad Slam is only for science students, please note that in the past, 35% of our contestants were in the humanities, arts, and social sciences and education. And 25% of our finalists are international students. And that a really interesting statistic is that 20% of the contestants make it to the UCR finals. That's a 1 in 5 chance. It's pretty good odds. This year, due to COVID complications, we are putting together a hybrid format for the Grad Slam. It's going to be a combination of virtual and in-person events. So for the preliminary round, you will submit your pre-recorded video by January 24th. And it will be judged asynchronously by Grad Division staff. The next stage is the semifinal round on February 17th. If selected from the preliminary rounds, you will compete in the semifinal round. To compete there, you must be present at UCR in the state because you will present live on Zoom. And like the preliminary round, it will be judged asynchronously. The final is going to be our in-person event. So the final Grad Slam competition is on March 3rd. You will present live at the Alumni Center in front of judges on a stage, and we will be live streaming the performances to a wider audience. These presentations will be judged synchronously by judges in industry, community leaders, and UCR alumni. Now, if you are advanced to the UCOP Grad Slam final. You will go to the UC system-wide event in San Francisco. It is tentatively scheduled for May 2022, and we'll have more details for you as they become available. Now that you know something about the structure of the Grad Slam 2022 event, let me share some of the resources that we're going to provide for you that help you prepare for the event. So before Grad Slam, you're going to watch this orientation video and take the quiz. We also want you to attend at least one of the workshops that are going to help you prepare, and also fill out the application and upload your preliminary video by January 24th. For the professional development, we have 2 workshops planned for you, given by professionals who are very familiar with the Grad Slam competition. The first one is on January 11th with Bree McWhorter, and she's from Activate to Captivate, and she works with many students in the UC system to prepare them for the UC-wide competition in May. The second workshop is with Dr. Annika Spears, and she will be showing us how to present effectively with visual aids, and that's scheduled for January 18th. In addition, we will have open office hours with grad division staff for tips and pointers from January 4th to January 23rd. And these will just be open office hours over Zoom. Now let's talk about some of the presentation guidelines. Before we get started, let me warn you that the guidelines for the events may seem very strict, but they will help prepare you for the UC-wide competition in May. Just to let you know, there will be a short quiz at the end of this video, just to make sure you've gotten some of the main concepts. So who can participate in Grad Slam 2022? Current grad students in any graduate program in good standing at UCR, no more than 1 year behind normative time, students who will be enrolled through spring 2022, and students who can confirm that they will be present at the semifinal round on February 17th and the final round on March 3rd. The Grad Slam format is basically an elevator talk to a non-expert audience. The guidelines restrict you to 3 minutes max length with only a 3-second grace period. And of course, you can only use 3 PowerPoint slides. Now remember, those PowerPoint slides must be created by you, not edited or created by a professional. Now these slides may contain embedded audio or video, but they may not include animations. And here's some more specifics about those PowerPoint slides. They must be PowerPoint. You cannot use Google Slides. The PowerPoint slides must be set to a 16:9 aspect ratio, and they must be in the landscape horizontal orientation. And we please ask you to avoid any fancy PowerPoint themes, because it is harder for us to add the title slides during the semifinal and the final competitions. So remember, you can't use animations. Here's an example of what I mean by that. Do not use this kind of animation or you will be disqualified. However, you may use an embedded video, but under very specific circumstances. The video must be, as this one here, be self-play. You can't click to start or stop. You cannot have a link to a video on your slide. And of course, the video should not be very long because you only have 3 precious minutes. And remember, no contracting with a professional to generate slides or graphics for the presentations. The images must be either public domain or the intellectual property of the speaker, or fall under the fair use provisions. And we've given you some resources here to help you with those. Props may be allowed for in-person presentations, the final round on March 3rd in the Alumni Center, but please make sure you clear it with me first. And remember, use your common sense during the final presentation. No live animals, dangerous gases, viruses, etc. Right? And just remember that we will have a presentation from Dr. Annika Spears, and she will give us some very detailed information about how to create an effective presentation. So we will give you help on these PowerPoint slides. So after you've gotten the orientation, you've attended the workshops, and you created and recorded your presentation, it's time to enter it into the preliminary competition. We have some resources on our website to help you. You can record on Zoom. You can create and edit on UJA or whatever platform you prefer. Most people will probably record a shared PowerPoint presentation. Remember that the application and recorded presentations are due for the preliminary round on January 24th. You will fill out an online application. It's also linked below this video. There's going to be a media release included in that application. And at the bottom, there's going to be a place for you to upload your 3-minute video. Once you've submitted your preliminary video, here's how you're going to advance through the competition. As we discussed before, there are 3 different levels. The preliminary round, which is a recorded video submitted by January 24th. A semifinal round, that is going to be a live presentation over Zoom. And a final round, which is going to be live in person at the Alumni Center. Let's look at some of the scoring and judging for both the preliminary and the semifinal rounds because they're very similar. For both the preliminary and semifinal rounds, judges will review the recorded presentations after submission asynchronously. In each preliminary and semifinal round, contestants will be in one of 2 groups, the blue group or the gold group, with 2 judges per color group. Each competitor will be scored by both judges within your color group, and the scores are going to be added together. You will only compete against contestants in your own group. So blue group contestants will compete against other blue contestants. We are planning on about 7 or 8 contestants per group, but it might be as low as 5. From each preliminary and semifinal round, the following competitors will advance to the next step. The highest 2 scores from the blue group and the highest 2 scores from the gold group. And please remember that we're always going to be giving you feedback and preparing you for each level. For the semifinals, grad staff will provide remote and virtual feedback and suggestions for contestants who advance to the semifinals during the week on February 7th through 11th. Now let's take a look at the semifinal rounds. Please note that while the judging is basically the same as in the preliminary round, there's a big difference in the presentation format between the preliminaries and the semifinals. For the preliminaries, remember you submitted a recorded video for your presentation. For the semifinals, you give your presentation live over Zoom on February 17th. Judges, again, will review recorded videos asynchronously. Contestants will upload the presentation PowerPoint slides ahead of the February 17th date, and we will advance your slide during your presentation. As before, you will receive 2 scores from 2 different judges. As in the prelim round, the highest 2 scores from the blue judge group and the highest 2 scores from the gold judge group competitors will advance to the next stage. And finally, we get to the finals. So the finals, they'll be live in person on stage at the Alumni Center. You will be presenting live to judges and a small select audience. The audience will be seated with social distancing to make sure everyone's safe. We will be live streaming the presentations to a wider audience. The invitations to the final and feedback will be sent on Friday, February 21st. So that's when you'll know if you're advancing to the finals. And please remember that you must be present during the entire round on March 3rd. And we'd like you to check in at least 30 minutes before the competition begins. So there are some procedural differences when we get to the finals. At the final round, there is no color grouping, no blues or golds. The entire judge panel scores every contestant. And because we can live stream, there will be an audience choice award. Audience members will choose their favorite via an online form. So during the final, there will be an audience choice winner. During the Grad Slam final, you may have notes or a hard copy of presentation, but please remember that in general, we would like you not to rely on any written notes during your presentation. Grad staff will control the computer and projector, but you will have access to a clicker during the final. Remember, you'll have 3 clicks. The time during presentation, of course, is very important. Remember, you have 3 minutes total for your presentation. We will give you a yellow card when you have 10 seconds left. We'll give you a red card when you're out of time. And the red card held continually up means you've exceeded the 3-second grace period, which may disqualify you from the competition. So let's talk a little bit about the judging rubric. Our judges come from a wide variety of backgrounds, and every round will have a different group of judges. However, they will all use the same rubric for every round during the competition. During all 3 levels, the judges will be scoring you on 7 categories, each on a 5-point scale from 1 to 5. So each judge can give you a maximum of 35 points. Now remember, don't worry, our professional staff are very familiar with the judging rubric, and they will coach you during the workshops to make sure you get your best score. The categories are as follows. Clarity. Did the speaker provide adequate background knowledge to make the talk and the importance of the project understandable to a general audience? Organization. Did the presentation follow a clear and logical sequence? Delivery. Does the student's body language, eye contact, pace, and vocal range contribute to the presentation effectiveness? Does a student deliver the talk without relying excessively on notes? And is the student's presentation style confident and enthusiastic? I know that Bree is going to present a lot of information about delivery during our workshops. Visuals. Are the students' visuals well-designed, clear, legible, and concise? Do the visuals both enhance the presentation and emphasize the primary points of the talk? And I know here, Dr. Annika Spears is going to have a lot of information for you about this part of the program. And appropriateness. Was the topic and the significance communicated in a language appropriate to an intelligent but non-specific audience? And did the speaker avoid discipline-specific jargon or explain it when necessary? Because remember, our judges are drawn from a very diverse group. Does a student foreground why this project matters in his field as part of the significance? If the student presents on a collaborative work, is it clear what the student's contribution really was? And engagement. To what extent did the talk speak to the judges' intellectual curiosity? And did it make the judges want to learn more about the topic? The judges will also have the opportunity to tell the speakers how to improve their presentation. We will ask them to specifically highlight one area where the speaker does well and one area where they can improve. And just the last few things, the UCR Grand Prize winner will receive an all-expense paid trip to San Francisco for the UCOP finals in May. And the UCOP Grand Prize winner will receive $7,000. Final to-dos. To be eligible to compete in this contest, you must, remember, view this orientation and the quiz at the end. Attend at least one of our introductory professional development workshops. Submit an application and upload your recorded preliminary presentation by January 24th. And make sure that you can be available for the semifinal competition on February 17th and the final competition on March 3rd. All right, finally, here we go with the review quiz. What is the maximum number of slides in a Grad Slam presentation? Remember, there was a magic number. 3 slides, right? You may have a maximum of 3 slides. Next question, how many minutes are Grad Slam presentations? Yes, you got it, 3 minutes with a 3-second grace period. Here's a true and false question for you. Grad Slam presentations should avoid discipline-specific jargon. True or false? That's true. Yes, we should avoid discipline-specific jargon in Grad Slam presentations. Another true and false. Grad Slam slides can include animations. False. Remember, no animations, but yes to embedded videos. And finally, what do I need to compete in Grad Slam 2022? View the orientation and slides, fill out an application, submit recording, or all of the above. Yes, that's right. It is all of the above. We will follow up with you regarding training sessions leading up to the preliminary video submission. Please remember that the application form is linked here, the QR code below, and in the comments for this video on YouTube. Here are some more resources that you might find helpful for your presentation. And please remember that you can always contact me and Nancy with questions about the Grad Slam event. Their emails are here, and we're also located in University Office Building if you want to drop by. Thank you so much for watching this orientation video, and we really look forward to seeing your applications for Grad Slam 2022. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.